Alright, so I'm back. So as I continue to wait, I just want to talk about like a few things that have crossed my mind since I've been teaching. Well, one is teach like everyone's listening. There's always going to be at least one kid listening to what you have to say, which is valuable information. If you're in that position, I would hope you have the wisdom to teach, right? Someone's going to be listening to you, even if it's 1, 2, or 3 people. As long as one person is listening, you're doing what you need to do. And as long as one person is comprehending and bringing it in, things will work out. Because if one person's doing it, they can spread it. It just takes one person. It takes one person to make a change. So always teach like everyone's listening, even if they're not. Some people, the attention spans are just not there. And the second thing I've learned, or the second thing that's just been crossing my mind, is patience. All the work that we put in, our years of work, right? They don't have that. They don't have that experience. They don't have that comprehension. They don't have that understanding. Just as much as you didn't have that understanding when you started at Zone A, right? Zone A could be middle school. Zone A could be high school. Everyone's Zone A is in a different place. My Zone A was middle school. Their Zone A could possibly be right there in high school. So I feel like we have to learn what zone we need to teach at. Are we at Zone B? Are we at Zone A? Are we at Zone C? What zone are we at? Because right now you could be on Zone E or F or even G. No one's at Z yet. No one's perfect. No one's at the end of their journey. So it's kind of like you got to take some steps back and revisit that zone where you didn't understand. And it's like, okay, what happened around that zone that helped me understand to get to Zone B, right? So it just takes patience. It takes time to get to the next zone. And it also takes time to get people to the next zone. So just learn patience, because they're not going to just get it right away. You got some people who get it. You got some people who are not going to get it. Everyone's different. People are different. So when you learn that you're teaching all kinds of different people and your job is to understand all these people, and your job is to find out a different way to help this person understand, you will do better at your job. Your job is literally to get all different kinds of people to understand the topic they signed up to learn, and different ways to do it. That's the job. That's the challenge that we face every day that we have to figure out. For example, I'm not a cymbal player, right? I asked the cymbals when I was in college, like, how do you play the cymbals? Like, what's the basics I gotta know? And, I sat there and learned it. And am I perfect? My endurance there? Absolutely not. But I learned enough to teach it. Different kind of choke cymbals, how to write it, just little things like that. I sat the time to learn it, which got me to a different zone. And now teaching it was a little different. Starting with my kids, and I'm still going through this, it was like, okay, we're here, right? And I need them to be here, right? So it took a little trial and error. It took a little reaching out for some help. And it took a lot for me to also analyze. Like, I went up back to the school. I said, oh, okay, I see this person doing this. Oh, that's where their hands are. Okay, where are they placed? The small details matter. So just observing and learning helped me teach them, and they look so much better now that we're actually repping the correct way. Patience. Make sure you know what zone your pupils are at so you can get them to the next level. And the last thing I'll say for today, set your standards correctly. This piggybacks off what I just spoke about with the zones, right? If you set the standard to a place they can't even see yet, you're basically leading them blind. You have to build people up. You gotta give them something they can see, they can understand. Get that to a point where it's really good, then put a challenging point for them. So what I mean by that is, like, you gotta learn your ABCs before you can start spelling out words. It's like that. If you don't even know what a letter is, how you gonna know what a word is? It means it's just that simple. So back in drumming terms, like I said, y'all watch me for drumming stuff anyway. I can't expect my kids to play all this hard material if they don't even know a basic rudiment, or they don't even know stick control or natural sticking, or how to even read the music. So you have to start from a place that they can see and understand. Get that more well-rounded, because it's not just about reading the music, it's also about the approach. How are they approaching the drum? It's so much more than just, okay, you can read music. Okay, you can hit the drum and it makes a sound. But how are you doing it? Because you're still wrong if it's not correct. if the approach ain't right, if your mechanics aren't right. And if you can't read music, that means it just makes your job 10 times harder. If you go into a job and it's like, we're gonna play all this, we're gonna play all that, and they don't even know how to read a quarter note, you're gonna run into some problems. And you're gonna have to take a step back. So just make sure you're setting the standard for the correct zone again. I mean, just piggyback off what I just said. Not only does that take patience, but also knowing your line. Also knowing what you're teaching, who you're teaching. That's why there's different levels of math, different levels of English, history, little things like that. But you need to know the foundation before you can really learn the harder stuff. Without the basics, you're going to run into trouble. So our job as educators is to make sure the foundation is solid. So when they get to these colleges, if they want to go and they want to get this scholarship money, they will be able to do their job efficiently. Because in college, there's no more, I'm going to teach you how to read music. It's not supposed to be that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. You got people there to help you. If it happens, because you didn't come from a place that can give you the standard and build it up. But if you are from a place that is giving you the standard and you're teaching the standard, there's no more excuses. That's on you now. But our job as educators is to make sure that foundation is solid. So when they go to the next level, to the next zone, right? They're not struggling, that they can actually see it. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, it really does. I hope it does. It makes sense to me. Like, if I can't see something, how can I achieve it? If I can't even hear it, things like that. So that's where my mindset is at.